What is up, YouTube? This is T Quentin1 coming at you with another video, and today I'm going to talk to you about Alien Covenant. Now, I love the first two Alien movies. I don't mind Alien 3 either, but mainly the first two. I think of those movies the way a lot of people think of the first two Godfather films or Terminator movies. They just complement each other perfectly. I think Aliens is one of the all-time greats in terms of action movies, and I consider Alien to be not only a superior movie to Alien, but the greatest horror film of all time. Alien Covenant is not, but it does have some merits. I feel like however you felt about Prometheus, you're going to feel the exact same way about Covenant. If you love Prometheus, well, you're going to love this one. If you hated it, you'll hate this one. Or if you're like me and felt Prometheus was a mixed bag, yeah, this movie's okay. So what works in the movie? Well, being a Ridley Scott film, the movie is gorgeous, of course. Everything from the open wilderness areas to the ancient ruins or the Covenant itself. It all looks great. The cast to this one is pretty stellar too. Catherine Waterston is way better here than in Fantastic Beasts. I may have written her off too soon. And Danny McBride is a surprisingly good dramatic actor. I was really skeptical of him, but he did a good job in this movie. He does still bring a lot of humor though. And Billy Crudup, who's a really underrated actor in my opinion, is great as the captain in this. I like that they brought up the same theme of faith with him that they did with Shaw and Prometheus, and he was probably the most likable character, but the best performance of this movie goes to Michael Fassbender as David and Walter. Walter is surprisingly really likable, and a character that I actually cared about, while David is just great as a mad scientist type villain. I dug it. Fassbender is one of my favorite actors, and I think he was able to make both characters feel unique. He was so good in this, I forgive him for that piece of shit Assassin's Creed. Also, some of the gorier scenes in this movie are pretty gruesome. Not nightmare-inducing, but there are some scenes that are pretty memorable, like the backburster. That shit was hardcore. This movie opens with one of my favorite scenes of the year, too. Not going to spoil it, but it was pretty great stuff. That's the good news. There is a lot to like in Alien Covenant. Unfortunately, there is almost as much to dislike. The pacing in this movie is a huge problem. I get what he was going for here. He was trying to build tension slowly like the original movie. But that works better when it's our first venture into the Alien universe. 6 movies in, it just came off as kind of boring. On top of that, I do like this crew a lot better than the crew in Prometheus, but they still do some pretty stupid stuff. And I just think it's scarier when smart people die. Like in the original Alien, they weren't rocket sized or anything, but they were fairly intelligent people, and this thing was still able to pick them off. Here, when someone's a dumbass and they get slaughtered, that's not as scary. It's fairly entertaining, I guess, but this didn't work for me. And also, even though I didn't love Prometheus, I was hoping to get some answers, and we get answers to the questions this movie poses, but Prometheus feels totally irrelevant by the end of this film. Pretty much everything we learned in Prometheus does not come into play here at all. We get no payoff for that movie, and that pissed me off. Other than that, I think Alien Covenant is a decent film. It has a lot of flaws. It has some good stuff in it. I can't recommend that you run out and see it, but I'm glad I saw it for what it was. I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. It's T Quentin1 signing out.